friends, welcome back to my kitchen. Welcome if you're new. I'm Cheryl, this is Table Full of Joy. And friends, I am so excited about today's video. Friends, Thanksgiving is almost here. And as I thought about what I was going to do leading into my holiday series, which has gotten a little bit later of a kickoff than I had planned to, life has just been a little bit nuts right at the moment, but I'm getting going now. And friends, it breaks my heart sometimes to think about the people that don't have family to spend Thanksgiving with. And it's usually just one or two, maybe three people, and that's all they have. And a lot of times you don't want to go to all the hassle of making the huge Thanksgiving dinner with all the dishes and all the things. So friends, I am taking something I did last year that actually was an incredible dinner. It was amazing. I had a lot of people that tried it and reached out to me and said this was an amazing idea. So I'm taking that idea from Easter from last year and I'm making it relevant for this year for Thanksgiving. So friends, we are making a sheet pan Thanksgiving dinner. So we're gonna put everything on this sheet pan. It's all gonna bake in the oven, and little mess, like literally almost no mess, friends, to have this Thanksgiving dinner. Everything is gonna be super easy. We're gonna do some fun little twists on some things to make this super tasty. The only two things that will not be on this sheet pan is one, cranberry sauce, because that's a little bit hard. And number two is our dessert. We will have dessert, but I love this dessert because you can make as much or as little of this as you want to. So you're not stuck with an entire pumpkin pie. A lot of people don't want to have a huge pumpkin pie because they can't eat it all. So that's my husband and I. Thankfully, we have family to spend Thanksgiving with, and I feel so blessed that we do. But if we didn't have family to spend Thanksgiving with, I would not want a huge pumpkin pie. I can only eat one or two pieces and I'm done. So I love this recipe that you can take those flavors, those classic Thanksgiving flavors, turn them into something simple and easy, and you can make just a few, or you can make one. It's whatever you want to have. So I'm excited to share this with you guys. It's going to be incredible. And so to start off with, I went ahead and cooked. It's still over here steaming, but I threw the box away, but it is a box of stovetop. I'm using the savory herb blend of the stovetop stuffing, but we're not going to leave it as just a plain stovetop stuffing. We are going to add some dried cranberries to this. We're going to add some chopped up apples to this. We're going to add a little bit of fresh sage to this and make this an incredible stuffing that you'll never know that came out of a box, ever. Nobody will ever have to know that you're using stovetop. Nothing wrong with stovetop. My husband loves stovetop, but this gives you something that says, I'm not just eating stovetop out of a box. I've got some simple things that I'm putting in it that's gonna make it incredible. We are having turkey because you can't have Thanksgiving without turkey. We are doing an applewood smoked breast tenderloin. We're gonna cook this. It gives you enough for 2 to 3 people, maybe 4 at the most. And it's super easy, super quick. Not gonna take a whole long time to cook because you're not cooking a huge turkey. So that's gonna be incredible. We are doing potatoes, but we are not doing mashed potatoes. It's a little hard to do mashed potatoes on a sheet pan. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some scalloped potatoes. I've done these before on my channel on a sheet pan and they are incredible. Super easy and super quick. We're gonna have some sweet potatoes because that's classic Thanksgiving. But I'm using some diced up, organic, diced sweet potatoes. They're gonna be delicious, but why go to all the work if it's just a couple of you? Why go to all the work of peeling the potatoes and doing all the things? Right here, friends. We eat these all the time. I keep them in my freezer for a really quick side dish. We love them. They're fantastic. So any kind of frozen sweet potatoes that you can find. Sometimes in your produce section at the grocery store, they will have already cubed up sweet potatoes. So check out for those and see, because that's going to make it super easy. And we are going to have gravy because you got to have gravy with turkey and stuffing and all the things. So I'm using a packet of gravy. But we are gonna change this packet of gravy into something phenomenal. So it's not gonna be just a packet of gravy. So friends, we have a lot of little components to go do and not a whole lot. Nothing's very hard. This is all gonna be super easy. It's gonna go together super quick. It's gonna be a really easy cleanup so you don't have a lot of mess, but it's gonna be delicious, friends. So let's get started with our stuffing. Let's get our apples and our sage and our dried cranberries put in there. Let's get that taken care of. And we're gonna put these things on this sheet pan in foil. So you've got these individual foil packets all over the sheet pan. So everything is cooking individually, but it's gonna be delicious. So let's get started, friends, because we have several things to do. But like I said, nothing is super hard. I'm gonna lay it down here so that I can put my turkey tenderloin on this piece of foil, because I want to make this tenderloin its own little nest, which is what I did for not Thanksgiving, but for Easter. When I did this sheet pan dinner last year, I did little packets on here. So this gives you, obviously, because a turkey has two, so you've got 2 turkey breast tenderloins right here. And I think I'm gonna just use my scissors, and I'm just gonna cut some of this stuff off of here that I don't want. It's just the skin. When they pulled the skin off of it, this is just the membrane. I just don't want this on here. All right, I'm gonna give my hands a quick wash because I don't want to get turkey juice on everything. I'm gonna go ahead and make a little packet, kind of. We're not enclosing this, we're leaving it open because I want it to really get some good brown color on it. But I am making like a little, kind of a little basket, kind of, for my turkey to sit in and for it to cook. So we have a double layer of foil now because we have our turkey right here that's gonna cook in this, just like that. And we're gonna do our scalloped potatoes, probably right here. We're gonna do our stuffing and we're gonna do our sweet potatoes. Everything has its own little corner. And so everything is gonna be easy cleanup, super, super simple. But I am gonna make a little bit of an herb butter to put on our turkey. But I bought these fresh herbs at the store. This is the poultry herb blend. They also have a roasting blend, depending on what your store has. But I'm gonna pull off just this one little bit right here of sage, because we're gonna use this sage in our stuffing. I'm gonna leave my sage off to the side. I don't wanna deal with that right now. But we've got our thyme. So we're gonna go ahead and pull our thyme off of the stem. I probably will not use all of these because I think this amount of herbs is really meant for an entire turkey. And we just have 2 little turkey breast tenderloins and that's all we're cooking. So I don't need a ton of these herbs, but I do want enough that we've got some really good flavor. I will use the rest of these herbs for something else. So we have a little bit more sage here. So we're gonna use this sage. I love fresh sage. We've got a little bit of rosemary. Rosemary is not my favorite herb. I am gonna put a little bit in here. I think I'm just gonna pull off some of these stems. But I don't want a ton of rosemary because like I said, it's not my favorite herb. It's very woody, it's very hard, and it's just not my thing. But we are gonna put a little bit in there because the flavor is gonna be incredible. So I want to chop all of these herbs up as much as I possibly can because I'm going to put these in our softened butter and then we're going to rub this all over those turkey tenderloins that are on the pan, because just because we're cooking dinner for 1 or 2 people does not mean that it cannot be incredible and that it can't be super, super flavorful. So you just want to make sure you get this pretty finely chopped. It doesn't have to be completely pulverized, but you definitely want it to be chopped up. All right, I think that's probably good right there. All right, I'm gonna put this in my bowl. I'm gonna save my cutting board because I'm gonna need to chop my sage that's gonna go in our stuffing. Let's grab our butter. I'm just using, it's about, let's see, what do we have here? About 2.5 tablespoons of butter. I mean, it is the holidays, friends, so we gotta have some butter. A spatula here, and I'm just gonna mash all of these herbs in here. I'm not gonna put any salt on this turkey because it is an applewood smoked turkey tenderloin, so that means it's gonna have some salt already in it, and I don't want to make this so that I can't eat it, that it's super salty. If you are not sensitive to salt like I am, and my husband is, by all means put salt on it if you want to, but I am not going to. I'm gonna have plenty of salt in this butter and the seasoning that's already on that turkey with that applewood smoke. It already smells like Thanksgiving, friends. All right, we've got our pan here with our turkey, and we're gonna take this butter and we are gonna just put probably a tablespoon and a half on each one of these. I'm gonna get all of that butter out. This is only gonna take about a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes in the oven, not a super long time, because it's just, it's like you're cooking a chicken breast is how big these turkey tenderloins are. They're super, super small, so they're not gonna take a whole long time to cook. Now, I'm not gonna worry about this getting perfectly smooth on this turkey. It's gonna be fine. And this is the juice that we get in this foil right here. That's what we're gonna use to dress up that gravy mix. So instead of using water for that gravy, we're gonna use the juice that comes out of this foil from cooking this turkey. So this is where our stuffing is gonna go. And I'm just gonna kind of fluff this a little bit with my spatula. It already smells so good. I'm gonna put in a few of our dried cranberries, because this is gonna be a cranberry, apple, and sage stuffing. Now, if you can't get all of this stuffing on that tray, if it's just the two of you, don't worry about getting it all on there. We're only putting on here what we know we're gonna eat for this one meal. So we've got our cranberries in here. Kind of get that mixed in. We're gonna do a little bit of apple, and I'm gonna go ahead and just chop that right here on my board. So these are fresh apples that we picked up at the farm this last weekend. I'm not even peeling it because I don't feel like I need to. I love apples, and I want these to be fairly small dices. I don't want huge pieces of apple in my stuffing, but I want it to be big enough that I know I've got an apple bite. I'm super excited about this. I actually do this sometimes in, any time of year when I'm just craving a Thanksgiving dinner, which happens sometimes. This is what I do because I don't want to cook a whole turkey. And so I will just cook a turkey tenderloin or a turkey breast, and I'll use just a boxed stuffing mix. And see that right there, that little bit of apple, that's perfect. That's all we need right there. So we're gonna get that in our stuffing. Like I said, we're probably not gonna get all of this in here, and that's totally fine. We got one last ingredient to put in here. And what is it, friends? It's our sage. So we're gonna get this fresh sage put in here. Sage is pretty strong. So we're just gonna chop this up really, really fine. Just like that. All right, let's get our sage put in our stuffing. And see how easy was that? How long, it didn't take us very long. And you know what? You can put the rest of this stuffing in a container, put it in your refrigerator, and have this later. I've got some fantastic recipes coming up for leftover stuffing. So if you have leftover from like this, stick it in your fridge. Friends, it is not going to waste. All right, so here is our little packet right here that we made for our stuffing to go in. So we're gonna put some of this beautiful cranberry and apple and sage stuffing right here, just like that. Like I said, this one is not gonna run, it's not gonna get soupy or anything like that, so it doesn't hurt it if it's just a little bit over full. That it's still gonna be fine. I'm gonna keep these really super simple, really, really, really simple. I love to put apple pie spice on my sweet potatoes. I love what's in the apple pie spice seasoning. I'm also gonna put a little bit of honey. I've got some fresh local honey, so we're just gonna put a little of that on our potatoes. And the other thing, you guys may not have this, I love it on sweet potatoes, and so I'm gonna put it on there. But if you don't have it, by all means, put whatever you want on your sweet potatoes. However you want to season your sweet potatoes is what I would recommend. But I love this seasoning coming up. Friends, I am a huge fan of Sweet Preacher. That is my absolute favorite seasoning for sweet potatoes. And I'm gonna put a little bit of Sweet Preacher on here. Sweet Preacher is a sweet and spicy and kind of a little bit of heat and just some incredible flavors. We're just gonna give these just a quick, easy little toss. But you can see we've got 3 things done for our Thanksgiving dinner, and we haven't really dirtied any dishes, which is a huge bonus in my book because I don't want to do dishes, friends. I just don't want to do them. So you want to make sure that we've got, these are not going to get super runny, but they may have a little bit of juice come off of them. So I want to make sure that I have enough of a wall for them to stay nice and tight in their own little area. So we have our sheet pan, and we're going to put our sweet potatoes right back here. Right there is our sweet potatoes. And you can see why I have my extra piece of foil down here, because if any of these leak, I don't want it on my pan. I don't want to have to wash my pan. I just don't. Because we are going to do some scalloped potatoes. My husband and I do not mind the peeling on the potatoes. I'm okay with that. So I'm going to save myself a step, and I'm not going to peel them. If you don't like the peeling, by all means, friends, please take the peeling off. So I am getting a bowl out because I do want to mix these before I put them in the foil. So we're just going to slice these. I'm not going to go find my mandolin. I know I have one. I'm just not going to go look for it. So we want to slice these fairly thin because we don't want these to take, 4 hours to cook in the oven. So I want to make sure that I have them sliced somewhat thin. I'm doing about 3 potatoes. I'm going to do 2 first and see how it looks. And if I need to do the 3rd one, I will. I have my half and half, or my heavy cream right here. I've got my potatoes. We're going to do a little bit of our Redmond's real salt on our potatoes. We are going to put cheese on these, so I don't want to go too terribly heavy with that. We're going to go ahead and put in a little bit of our heavy cream. I'm going to use for my seasoning, I'm going to use the caramelized onion butter. That's my absolute favorite. So we're going to put that in here. And I'm going to put in a little bit of cream cheese. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in the microwave for just a few seconds to soften it. All right, so here's our softened cream cheese. Yep, nice and soft. All right, so I'm going to just mix all this together. And I might just end up doing this with my hands because it might be easier. All right, so we have our pan right here. I went ahead and made a little spot right here for our potatoes to go. We've got our potatoes. And I'm going to just lay these out here kind of like this. Get them all in here, and then they're just going to bake. And everything is going to bake together. And it's going to be fantastic, friends. I'm so excited to eat this. I'll put cheese on these potatoes at the very end. I don't want the cheese to burn in the process of the potatoes baking. We've got our turkey, our sweet potatoes, our delicious stuffing, our scalloped potatoes. This is going to go in the oven, and it's going to bake at 350 for about 35, 40 minutes, probably right in there somewhere. And then it's going to be delicious. All right, friends, we're going to get started on our cranberry sauce. I've just got 1 bag of fresh cranberries. I'm going to go ahead and dump these in here. Now, I'm not putting any sugar in these. If you like them sweet, then by all means, friends, put sugar in. I'm using some apple cider. This is some fresh apple cider. So we're going to put in about half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of apple cider in here. We're going to put in 1 cinnamon stick in there. The zest, or the rind, our oven's hot, the rind of this orange. I don't want the juice, I just want the peel, because I just want that orange essence. I don't want to add any extra juice to this. So we're just going to peel this off with our peeler. Probably don't need all of it. We'll get most of it. And because we are doing apple cider in here, we're going to go ahead and do some apple. We're going to use the rest of our apple that we had from our stuffing. I'm going to take the last part of this apple. I'm going to give this a little bit of a dice. And I'm just going to put these apple chunks right in this pot with our cranberries, our apple cider, our orange rind, our cinnamon stick. And friends, this is just a really simple cranberry sauce. It doesn't have to be complicated. Okay, just like that. Let's give it a little bit of a stir. And this is going to go on the stove and it's going to cook for probably 20-25 minutes until all of the cranberries have popped and it started to create kind of a gel. And I'm going to put this on the stove before I drop any more. All right, friends, I just pulled our Thanksgiving sheet pan dinner out of the oven. It smells incredible. We're going to go ahead and drain our juice off of our turkey. We're going to put our cheese on our potatoes, our pecans on our sweet potatoes. It's going to go back in the oven for just a couple of minutes and then we're going to eat dinner. And that's how fast this Thanksgiving sheet pan dinner came together. So I'm going to grab my foil that has my turkey in it. I'm thankful that I did not have a lot of leakage, which is nice. I'm going to get this off of here and I'm going to go dump this over here in my pan. I've already got my gravy kind of started, but I want all of that turkey flavor from our turkey tenderloin. I want that in my gravy over here. So as I showed you guys, I just used a packet of turkey gravy mix along with just the water like it tells you to in the packet. And then let's get our sweet potatoes and our regular potatoes ready to go. Let's have a few pecans here that we're going to finish our sweet potatoes with that have our honey and our sweet preacher rub. Like I said, I love that on sweet potatoes. It's my favorite. Got a little bit of some white cheddar that we got at the Amish store a while back. So we're going to put that on our potatoes. We want a good layer of cheese on these potatoes. These potatoes are nice and tender. I checked them. They're perfectly done. And this is really the only things that you have to do is make your packet gravy, and our cranberry sauce is done. This is what it ended up looking like. It is very tart, but that's the way we like it. If you want to put some sugar in it, feel free to do that. But I was okay with the amount of sugar that came from the apple cider that we put in there. This is going to go back in the oven for just a couple minutes just to finish melting that cheese and let those pecans toast up just a tiny bit and we'll be ready to eat. There we go. Look at that sheet pan Thanksgiving dinner. No mess, no cleanup. We have scalloped potatoes. We have stuffing. We have turkey. We have sweet potatoes. We have cranberry sauce. We have gravy. We have everything that we need. If you wanted to, if you're making this dinner for just you and a couple of people and you want to do a really simple dinner, this would be a great thing to do. If you want something, if you want some bread or something like with it, just do some canned biscuits. Make it super easy on yourself. Don't stress about it. We're gonna go enjoy this. I'm excited to go try this. I'm gonna get this served up and we're gonna go sit and enjoy a delicious dinner. Yes, it is election day, friends. We are watching the election pretty closely to see what's going on with it. So we're gonna go enjoy this delicious dinner together and just give thanks that we have the opportunity to vote, that we have that ability in this country to do that. And we are super thankful for that. We are praying over the election and the results and everything about it. So we're gonna scoop this up, we're gonna go sit down, we're gonna eat dinner, and we'll see you guys for dessert. All right, friends, we've got our delicious sheet pan Thanksgiving dinner. We haven't put our cranberry sauce on it yet, but we're gonna pray and then we're gonna taste this. I'm gonna let hubby taste everything so we can tell you what this tastes like, considering this is not our traditional Thanksgiving dinner, but this is something super simple and really easy that you can put together in no time and have a delicious Thanksgiving meal together. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this food. We actually listen to our bodies. We just ask that you would just have your hand over this election tonight, Lord, that you would just give everybody peace over this, Lord, that you would just, that your will would be done. We ask that you would give us a restful night's sleep. We ask these things in your name, Lord. Amen. All right, hubby's gonna try this. He loves cranberry sauce, so he's gonna go for the cranberry sauce. I'm anxious to try this turkey tenderloin. I've actually never cooked a turkey tenderloin before. So I'm excited to try this.
Okay.
There is some extra gravy on the stove if we feel the need. What'd you try?
Cranberry.
What do you think?
Very good. Not too sweet, not too tart.
So as you guys know, I did not put any sugar in that. I used just the sugar from the apple cider that I put in it, hoping that would be enough.
Turkey. Almost tastes like it has a smokiness to it.
It's a smoked turkey breast.
Very good. Very good.
We're gonna try the potatoes now. I've made these scalloped potatoes for an Easter collab last year.
Our leaders, our president, our country.
Yeah.
We give it all.
Very good. I'd like to have a jalapeno with that.
Yeah, he likes everything spicy.
But very tasty.
So try those sweet potatoes and the stuffing and let me know what you think. I'm anxious to try this stuffing.
I like the nuts now.
Okay,
Good stuff.
so that stuffing, I cannot tell that came out of a box. I literally cannot tell that it came out of a box. Adding the apples to it, the fresh sage, the dried cranberries, I can't tell that it came out of a box, can you?
Good flavor.
Wow. Sweet potatoes are good.
Very good.
So we're having Thanksgiving, friends.
Yep.
It's only November 5th. So we're going to enjoy this. And like I said, we'll see you guys for dessert. All right, friends, that Thanksgiving dinner was delicious. That is an incredible way to do a Thanksgiving dinner on a sheet pan. Everything cooked together. It was fantastic. So we're gonna do a dessert. I love this dessert because you can make as many or as few as you want of this. And it's really a fun, different twist on a pumpkin pie. We are making pumpkin tacos. How fun can these be? So we've got some flour tortillas. We've got our muffin pan turned upside down. I've got a little bit of butter right here that I melted in my little bowl. Grab my spoon really quick. I've got some cream cheese melted in the not melted, but softened in the microwave. It's gonna go together super quick. I am so excited about these. Cannot wait to try these. So let's get this whole thing put together really quick. All right, so I've got a tortilla and we're gonna cut out some rounds of this. Just gonna use my biscuit cutter. I think that's a good size for a taco. If you want them a little bit bigger, make them whatever size you want. I'm gonna make them this size because we don't need a ton of dessert. It's holiday season and we really need to watch what we're eating. So out of this soft taco size tortilla, I got 4 rounds. Set that aside. So I'm going to take my tortillas. I have a little bit of sugar in this plate right here. I'm going to put a little bit of pumpkin pie spice in here. And while we have our shells in the oven, our oven is at 350. While our shells are in the oven, we're going to make our filling because our filling goes together super, super quick. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of a mix. And then I'm going to, so I have my pan right here. I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to brush both sides of this. I'm going to put it down in here in my cinnamon and sugar, get both sides coated with our sugar mixture, just like that. And then we're going to set our tacos just like that, friends, on the back side of our muffin pan. So I'm going to get the rest of these done real quick. Like I said, I'm only making 4. 4 is going to be the perfect amount for us tonight because, as I said, we just had that absolutely delicious Thanksgiving sheet pan dinner. So we don't need a whole lot of dessert. But that's, like I said, what I love about this recipe is you can make as many of these or as few as you want. And you still kind of get that like you're having a pumpkin pie. So we're gonna go ahead and mix up our filling right now. We've got 2 ounces. The original, I'm only doing a half a recipe. The original recipe calls for 4 ounces of cream cheese. I'm only doing 2 because I said I'm just making a few of these. We're gonna put in our pumpkin. This is some of our fresh pureed pumpkin we had in the freezer. But if you don't have fresh pumpkin, by all means, friends, just use a canned pumpkin. It's gonna be totally fine. I just happen to have this, so I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna put in some powdered sugar. That's our sweetener. I'm gonna put in a little bit of our pumpkin pie spice. And a splash of vanilla. I'm going to switch to a whisk. Hubby is going to be so excited about this tonight. All right, we're just going to give this a really good whisk. Try to get all of that broke up. The nice thing about this is the filling will keep in the refrigerator for a good couple of days. So if you only want to make a couple of these at a time, by all means, just cut as many tortilla rounds as you need and then put this in the refrigerator and keep it until you're ready to make another batch. The tortillas probably won't hold once they've been cooked. Friends, here's our little tortillas. They are nice and crispy. These are gonna be delicious. Let's get these out of the pan and make our little tacos. So these, you have to be really careful with them because of the sugar. They do want to kind of stick in there a little bit, but they're going to be delicious. So I'm going to put a little bit of our pumpkin cheesecake mixture down in here. Just like that. Don't want to overfill them, but we want them to be delicious. I have a little bit of whipped cream. We're going to put a little bit of whipped cream on top of our taco. We've got a little bit of pecans because why not? Pecans are delicious. So we're just going to put these on here. They're just going to make it super tasty, extra crunchy. And how cute would these be? You could leave them on this tray and serve these on the table. They would be so cute. All right, friends, here is our pumpkin tacos. Can't wait to try this. Oh my gosh. Friends, that is amazing. That is so good. Wow. So crunchy. Did you hear that crunch? That's amazing. I'm gonna set it down for a second because I'm making a mess. But friends, that's an incredible dessert. How fun would that be to serve if it's just the 2 of you for Thanksgiving dinner? Make that Sheetpan Thanksgiving dinner with all those things. Make these little fun little desserts. Go ahead and cook up the whole batch of your little tortillas. Make your cream or your filling and some whipped cream and just have it in the fridge, and you can just snack on those all evening after you have an early Thanksgiving dinner. I think that's what we're probably gonna do one day. It's gonna be super fun. We'll watch a football game and do this one night. It's gonna be delicious. So friends, thank you guys so much for joining me as we made this delicious Thanksgiving Sheetpan dinner. My heart does go out to people that do have to have a Thanksgiving dinner by themselves. Not a lot of people, they don't have a lot of family. You are in my thoughts and my prayers. But friends, just because it's a small group does not mean it can't be something delicious. So make that Sheetpan dinner, make this delicious dessert because you're gonna love it. It's super, super tasty, super easy. As you saw, it goes together in no time at all. We're gonna have these tonight. My husband's gonna love them. And so friends, if you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button up there. Hit that notification bell down there. We would love to have you part of our YouTube family. I would hate for you to miss out on any of the fun coming up over the next couple of months while we share tons and tons of holiday recipes with you guys, decorating and shopping and all the things that are coming up for the holiday. We don't want you to miss out on anything. So friends, make sure you guys are subscribed. Would you share my channel with your friends and family if you think this is something that they would enjoy? Friends, I am really trying hard to get to my 2,000 subscribers by the first of the year. So if you guys could help me out with that, that would be amazing. So share my channel with your friends and family. And friends, we'll talk to you guys in the comments. Have a great day and God bless.